Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Finally, Christine Brown slams Kody's fake apology tour while he hunts fifth wives. The shocking truth about how Christine Brown met David is revealed. People become concerned as the couple weds so quickly. Christine Brown was married to Kody Brown for years. She was a part of their plural family, and she was on TLC's Sister Wives. However, their marriage was not going to last like she initially wanted. Christine was no longer content, and neither her marriage nor her family were providing her with the support she required. She therefore decided that it was time to leave. She met David Woolley soon after. No one could have anticipated how quickly the couple wed. However, they seem to be in a good place, and fans love seeing their relationship blossom. Little did they know, they actually knew each other way before they officially met. The truth about how Christine Brown met David. Christine Brown has revealed the crazy truth about how she met David. His parents appear to have known her grandfather. Because of this, they ended up attending the same wedding in Mexico when she was just 14 years old. My future husband, David, was also at that wedding, but I don't recall meeting him. My grandpa was known by his parents. We both have memories of the colony in Mexico, where my mom's mom lived for a short time. When I was 14, we absolutely attended the same wedding. David's best friend's sister married my mom's sister. The two met without knowing years before they fell in love. Fans loved the crazy story and cannot believe that this happened. However, it all makes sense as to why they were drawn back to each other. It seems the two met when Christine was only 14 years old. They were at the same wedding in Mexico. David's parents knew Christine's grandfather. This was a wild story that fans did not see coming. However, supporters of the invisible string theory now have even greater faith in it after hearing this. The two seem to be happier than ever, and fans love seeing Christine happier than ever before. What are your thoughts on this? Are you surprised? Post your thoughts in the section below. We would love to hear what you think about this. Christine Brown has never been one to mince words, and now, after years of biting her tongue, walking away from a broken plural marriage, and redefining her identity as a happily remarried woman, she's finally slamming Kody Brown's so-called fake apology tour while he simultaneously sparks outrage with rumors that he's on the hunt for a potential fifth wife, which has fans of Sister Wives buzzing with questions about his motives, the state of his fractured family, and the glaring contradictions between his public statements and his private actions. To understand Christine's fury, you have to rewind to the final years of her marriage with Kody, when she endured endless gaslighting, deflections, and humiliations as Kody repeatedly elevated Robyn above the other wives, dismissed Christine's needs, and excused his failings as a husband and father with self-righteous lectures about family unity that he himself never lived up to, and this history explains why Christine now sees his public attempts at redemption as nothing more than a self-serving PR stunt rather than genuine accountability, because instead of reaching out with humility to the children he neglected or the ex-wives he belittled, Kody's been staging what Christine calls a tour of half apologies, Instagram lives, leaked press interviews, and even on-camera scenes where he couches his regret in caveats, blaming circumstances, COVID rules, or the women themselves for not trying harder, all while presenting himself as a misunderstood man who only wanted the best for his family. But Christine, who lived through years of emotional neglect and witnessed firsthand how Kody withheld affection, broke promises, and then painted himself as the victim, isn't having it, because as far as she's concerned, a true apology requires accountability, ownership of one's choices, and meaningful repair of the relationships harmed, not a carefully managed narrative designed to win sympathy while simultaneously scouting for a new, younger, more pliable wife who can stroke his ego and revive his fading dream of patriarchal polygamy. And the fact that rumors of Kody's search for a fifth wife are surfacing at the same time as his apology campaign only fuels Christine's disdain, because it shows that he hasn't learned anything at all. He's still chasing validation, still desperate to appear as the head of a flourishing plural family, and still ignoring the wreckage left behind in his wake. Christine, who has rebuilt her life with David Woolley, often radiating joy in her social media posts as she travels, laughs, and embraces a partnership based on equality, now feels emboldened to call Kody out more openly, not just for herself but for the other women and children who still carry the scars of his favoritism and authoritarian parenting style. And when she describes his public repentance as fake, she's really putting words to what many fans have already suspected, that Kody's sudden shift from a defensive, blame-shifting husband to a man offering sound bite-sized regrets is more about salvaging his image and keeping sister wives alive than about reconciling with those he hurt, because if he truly wanted healing, he would be sitting quietly with his estranged children, listening instead of lecturing, apologizing without conditions, and making amends without simultaneously trying to recruit new women into his household. Instead, reports swirl that Kody has been spotted meeting with polygamist matchmakers and quietly putting feelers out for younger women who might be willing to marry into his fractured family. And while some dismiss this as speculation, the pattern of his past makes it believable. After all, he courted Robyn when the family dynamic was already tense, and instead of using that moment to strengthen bonds with Mary, Janelle, and Christine, he doubled down on elevating Robyn and alienating everyone else. So Christine's disgust is rooted not only in his recent behavior but in decades of repeating cycles where Kody cloaks his desires in spiritual language, claiming God called him to expand the family, when in reality the timing always coincides with his personal dissatisfaction, midlife crises, or a desire for control. And what's more revealing is how Christine contrasts his fake apology with her own growth. She doesn't pretend to be perfect, she acknowledges her missteps, but she has consistently shown through actions that she wanted peace, whether by encouraging her kids' relationships with their dad even after she left, or by refusing to badmouth Robyn in the cruelest ways despite having plenty of reasons to, and this maturity makes her critique of Kody sting even more, because it exposes his refusal to grow while she herself thrives, and fans can't help but side with her because the evidence is undeniable. Kody only seems remorseful when the cameras are rolling, when TLC is dangling another season, or when public opinion turns against him. But behind the scenes, his ego-driven quest for a fifth wife shows that he still believes polygamy is his destiny, even if his first 4 marriages ended in resentment, heartbreak, and estrangement from most of his children. Christine's slam also carries weight because she's not the only ex-wife disillusioned. Mary has spoken out about feeling discarded, Janelle has opened up about being financially entangled with him long after emotional ties were severed, and even the kids, from Garrison's heartbreaking distance to Isabel's memories of her father skipping her surgery, have painted a consistent picture of neglect. So when Christine says his apologies are fake, she's amplifying a chorus of voices who feel the same, and by linking this critique to his pursuit of a fifth wife, she's essentially warning both fans and any potential recruits that the man Kody is presenting to the world is not the man they will encounter in private, because while he may appear repentant and lonely now, history shows that his pattern is to demand loyalty, dole out affection selectively, and rewrite the narrative whenever his control is challenged. Christine's timing is also strategic, as the Browns' drama over the Coyote Pass land sale, financial tensions, and Robyn's increasing isolation keep the family in headlines, and her willingness to call out Kody's fakery keeps her from being overshadowed by speculation about the rest of the family, reminding viewers that she has not only survived Kody's manipulation but is thriving in spite of it. And this stark contrast, Christine's laughter-filled marriage to David versus Kody's desperate apologies and alleged fifth wife hunting, has become one of the defining storylines of the sister wives post-breakup era, with fans rooting for Christine while rolling their eyes at Kody's antics. In the end, Christine's slam isn't just about venting personal anger, it's about reclaiming the narrative, refusing to let Kody rewrite history with his selective memories, and holding him accountable in the court of public opinion, where his charm and manipulation once allowed him to maintain control, but where now, thanks to Christine and the other women's voices, the truth about his hypocrisy is finally being laid bare. And the more he chases fifth wives while pretending to apologize, the more hollow his words will ring, because Christine has exposed the contradiction for all to see. You cannot claim repentance while repeating the same patterns. You cannot apologize while simultaneously planning to reenact the very lifestyle that caused so much pain, and you cannot rebuild trust while still chasing power, control, and ego-driven fantasies of being a patriarch with adoring wives orbiting around you. And Christine's refusal to stay silent is a reminder to every viewer that healing comes not from empty words but from authentic change, something Kody Brown has yet to prove he is capable of. Kody Brown, a man whose hairline and moral compass have receded in perfect, tragic unison. His post-breakup behavior, a grotesque pantomime of introspection and blame-shifting dubbed by fans and critics alike as his fake apology tour, represents a final, desperate attempt to control a narrative that has spiraled far beyond his grasp. Yet, in a defining moment of clarity and courage, Christine Brown, the wife who famously and finally chose her own happiness, has risen to not only slam the door on his disingenuous performance but to lock it deadbolt shut, all while Kody, in a move of breathtaking tonal whiplash, seems to be publicly hunting for a fifth wife, a pursuit that exposes the apology tour for the hollow, self-serving charade it truly is.